I want to check back in with WAT6 News Side reporter Whitney Good.
She is live at the LeConte Center in Pigeon Forge this morning. Hundreds of people, we're talking 600 people, came in to take shelter from the wildfires, and really no one has gotten any sleep there tonight, Whitney. Everybody is wondering the status of their home.
Yeah, that's right, Bo and Lori. As we mentioned earlier, it's really a lot of questions here, and there were about 600 people here as evacuations first started, and now it's down to just a little more than 100 people here. But yeah, not a lot of rest happening here right now. I'm joined with one group. You guys evacuated from Gatlinburg last night. Tell me a little bit about what happened and what your experience was.
Well, when we were leaving, it took like 2 hours to get out of Gatlinburg on the spur. We were just like stuck on the spur for a while, and it was on fire, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that you left about 7 o'clock last night. Did you, I don't think anybody expected it to get as bad as it did. What was going through your mind when you realized the extent of what was going on?
I don't know, I didn't really know what to think. It was just, we were shocked.
Just so surreal.
I was freaking out.
Has been a busy place this morning, and I've been telling you all morning about just the questions that people have and are trying to get answered. And joining me right now is Michael Reed, and you have been having a lot of questions this morning. You still can't find some of your family members. Tell me who you're looking for.
My wife and my 2 daughters.
And what are their names?
My wife's name is Constance Reed. My daughter's names are Lily Reed and Chloe Reed.
So tell me a little bit about the last time that you had contact with them. What happened? What do you know?
We had seen on the news that there was fires on the spur. So my son and I jumped in our van and drove. We lived on Wiley Oakley in Gatlinburg, so we jumped down the mountain to the Welcome Center onto the spur to see if it was close to our house. And we got stuck in traffic at that point. They wouldn't let us turn around, and she called me about 8:15. And said that there were flames across the street from our house, and she didn't know what to do. So I told her to call 911, and that was the last time I talked to her.
And so what have you been trying this morning? What have you been attempting to do to get in contact with them?
We've snuck back into Gatlinburg, and a friend of mine went to the other shelter in Gatlinburg, and they said she wasn't there. I've called the other shelters here. They said she isn't there. Just hoping for a miracle.
Absolutely. And you've got some of their pictures here that we can show, so maybe people will see them at one of these shelters and let us know about it.
Yeah, this is Constance. This is my wife.
And then you've also got pictures of your daughters
This is
here.
Lily. She's 9. And this is Chloe. She's 12. She just had her birthday 3 days ago.
And you were also learning that your home, unfortunately,
Home's gone.
The home burned.
When we finally made our way back into Gatlinburg to try to get to her, all of Wiley Oakley was gone. I mean, it was completely on fire, and I actually drove our van all the way up the road in the fire to get to our house, and when I got there, it was completely engulfed.
Wow. I'm so sorry that you're having to go through all of this. We're hoping for the best for you and your family. If anybody sees any of his wife or his daughters, feel free to call us, reach out to us, and we can let him know where they are and that they're safe. That is definitely what we're all hoping for here this morning. For now, we'll send it back to you guys, Bo and Lori.
Many, Whitney, have been telling us on Facebook and Twitter they had 5 minutes to leave their homes with really nothing but the clothes on their backs in many cases.
Yeah, that's right, Bo and Lori. It's such a scary and fast-paced thing that happened to them last night, and they had about 600 people here at first last night as evacuations started happening, and now they're down to about 130. Some people have been allowed to return to their homes and their neighborhoods. Alan Sheets with the Red Cross here joining me again. Ellen, you guys are registering people right now. Tell me a little bit about what's going on at the shelter right now.
Well, it is officially a Red Cross shelter here at the LeConte Center, and it is required that people register, just the necessary information so we know who they are. One situation that we've run into all night long and all morning long is that there's been very little communication between the Gatlinburg area and the Pigeon Forge area, and a lot of people have just didn't know whether their home survived or not, and some family members have been separated, and we would encourage all those people that can hear this to go to the American Red Cross Safe and Well website, register where they are, and they can also search for family members or friends that may have registered as well, because there are some people that are missing family members that they don't know where they are right now, so we encourage them to do that. So things are moving right along real well here. People are finally getting some rest. Some people have gotten some very good news and have been able to return to their neighborhoods. Some have gotten some bad news that their dwellings have burned. So a lot of mixed emotions here at the shelter tonight.
Sure, that's one thing I was going to kind of ask you about is what have the emotions been like here for you all tonight? I'm sure it's been tough, a long night.
It's been tough. We do have some mental health professionals here that have been talking with people, and we want to be here for them. We have, of course, we have medical nurses here that can help for minor problems that folks have had, and as indicated earlier, one of the local kennel owners has opened their kennel up free of charge for people to take their pets so they can stay here comfortably and not have to worry about their animals.
Where at one point, Whitney, 600 people came out, and now that number has dwindled, which is a good sign.
Yeah, Bo and Larry, that is a good sign. A lot of people looking for places to stay in Sevier County tonight. Michelle Hankus with the Red Cross is joining me now. Michelle, you said you've been all over the place. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen overnight.
We have a very frightening situation. It's dark, it's rainy, and fire is frightening. So we are seeing people who are looking for shelter. They're looking for safety right now. That is our concern right now, is to keep people safe.
What are you telling people to do? What are you suggesting for people if they still need a place to go?
If you are looking for evacuation for sheltering, there are several of them listed, and I know that you have been posting them here on WATE. So go to them, bring your personal information, bring your medications, bring things you want that you need to have. Things can be replaced, you can't. If you are in a safe place, stay there. The roads are a bit treacherous. We want to make sure that first responders have first dibs on those roads.
Absolutely. And you mentioned, you and the volunteers, you guys respond to these things all the time. But when it happens like this in your backyard, what goes through your mind?
Most of our deployments for big disasters aren't here. This one's in our backyard. It gets the adrenaline going even more because these are my friends, my family, my communities, and I'm going to do everything I can to serve them best I can.
All right now we do want to go ahead and send things to our own Whitney Good, who has the story of a brother and sister who have a store, and she tells us how they fared through all of this over the last 48 hours.
Gatlinburg was not the only area affected by these fires. The owners of this store, a brother and a sister, both lost their homes in Pigeon Forge last night.
The smoke came, and we knew that there were fires burning, the chimneys were burning. We didn't realize, the scope.
Bob Barnes back at work today. This store, the only place he has left.
I got home. I probably stayed 20 minutes, maybe.
He and his sister are neighbors just off Middle Creek Road in Pigeon Forge, evacuated last night as flames came too close.
I came out of my house and I looked and I could see that my sister's house was in flames.
This morning, this was all that was left of their homes.
I went to my house and saw that it was about a foot, it was a foot or 2 foot high. It was gone. And everything around it on both sides of the road was burned.
His store now facing roadblocks at the entrance to the spur, people coming together to help each other out.
People around here, they're pretty tough. The big thing was everybody wanted to know what they could do for me. And it's hard to be, it's kind of hard to be on the receiving side sometimes.
As many in this small community are still reeling. In Pigeon Forge, Whitney Good, WATE 6 on your side.